This is a scene from ancient Greek myth, which you may not have heard about and does seem quite odd when you first look at it. So you've got two characters. I've got a close-up, which I'll get into the details in a moment. But you've got two characters there. You could probably work out one of them because the one over that side is holding a club. And usually when a character's holding a club, it's Heracles, which it is in this case. The character to his right, who's facing him and fighting with him, struggling over that object in the middle, is Apollo. And Apollo was, well, he was linked to his sanctuary at Delphi because this is where this is set. And he's even got his faun sort of stood below looking up, a bit curious about it all. And that piece that's between the both of them is what they're fighting over. It's the tripod, which symbolised the whole oracle at Delphi. Here we are then, a bit closer up, so we can make out some of that detail, make out some of the composition, and how they both sort of inform each other and support each other. So to start with, you've got movement. The movement here is really, really well crafted because after all, you've got one character who's leaning and sort of extending themselves out. You look stretched, long arm that Apollo has because he's reaching out to the club of Heracles. He's also reaching out to hold the tripod to prevent that being taken away. Then you look at Heracles and he's very different because his body's open, because he's twisting back on himself, because after all, he's trying to move away. He's going that way, but he's being prevented to do so. And you look at his arms, whereas with Apollo, you've got the arms reaching out. With Heracles, his arms are sort of holding in because he's trying to hold these things back. After all, he doesn't want to lose his club, and he certainly doesn't want to lose that tripod. And the detail is absolutely fantastic. I mean, just look at the hair. Look at the club, look at the details on the tripod. They don't all need to be there because you'd still get the sense of this scene, but they all help support the composition. And again, you get that sense of movement, that struggle that's going on, certainly in the upper part of the scene. But the artist does something really clever, and this is actually my favourite part of the whole scene, and that's our friend there. That's the faun of Apollo, or sort of young deer of Apollo. So it's there to represent the god, but it's also there to act almost as a window for us, because if you look at it, it looks completely bamboozled by what's going on. It looks shocked, as we are, because after all, this is a shocking and dramatic scene. You've got Apollo and Heracles fighting. And they're not just fighting, they're fighting over something really important, because that tripod is the symbol of Delphi and the oracle there. And by moving it away and by taking it away, effectively Heracles would be disrupting the oracle at Delphi, which, as you may know, is a pretty important thing. So there's a lot of shock and drama in this scene, as well as a struggle. And you've got the faun reacting to both, and perhaps offering a sort of window that we would have into the scene. Our reaction, or perhaps the Greek viewer's reaction to the scene, is somehow mirrored in the faun. There we go. It's a really, really interesting image, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.